This is section 4.3, where we're learning another method for graphing linear equations, but now we're going to do it by using intercepts. So our vocabulary, an x-intercept of a graph is where the x-coordinate of a point where the graph crosses the x-axis, or in other words, where a line crosses the x-axis. A y-intercept, on the other hand, is the y-coordinate of a point where the graph crosses the y-axis. So basically, where the line crosses the y-axis. Over here we have an example, 2x plus y equals 6. It has an x-intercept of 3, 0, and a y-intercept of 0, 6. So notice, no matter what line we have that's going through the x and y-axis, anywhere that it crosses the x-axis, it's going to have a y value of 0. Otherwise, it wouldn't be crossing the x-axis. And similarly, the y-intercept, anywhere a line crosses the y-axis, it's going to have an x value of 0. Otherwise, it wouldn't be crossing the y-axis. So, we're going to use that fact to help us find x and y-intercepts. So to find the x-intercept, you're going to substitute 0 for y and solve for x. And to find the y-intercept, you're going to substitute 0 for x and solve for y. So remember, whatever intercept you're trying to find, you don't want to get rid of that variable. You want to use 0 and substitute in for the variable you're trying to get rid of. So for the x-intercept, substitute 0 in for y, and for the y-intercept, substitute 0 in for x. So let's try an example. We want to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept of the graph of 2x plus 7y equals 28. So let's start with the x-intercept. Remember, to find our x-intercept, we want to make y 0. So 2x plus 7 times 0 equals 28. Well, 7 times 0 is just 0, so we're left with 2x equals 28. And here's an equation that we know how to solve. Divide by 2 on both sides. 28 divided by 2 is 14. So our x-intercept is 14. Now to find the y-intercept, remember we want to make x 0. So again, plugging in 0 for x, 2 times 0 plus 7y equals 28. 2 times 0 is just 0, so we're left with 7y equals 28. Then, to solve for y, divide by 7 on both sides, and y is equal to 28 divided by 7 is 4. So, we've just found that our x-intercept had to be 14, and our y-intercept was 4. So, in other words, this equation crosses the x-axis at positive 14 and the y-axis at positive 4. Okay, so finding the x and y-intercept is really just a tool for being able to graph an equation. Because we know that if we have any 2 points, we know the line that has to go through it. Because between 2 points, there's exactly one line that goes through them. So if we're trying to graph the equation x plus 2y equals 4, first we need to find the x and y-intercept. So I'm going to start with the x-intercept. Again, make y 0, so x plus 2 times 0 equals 4. And 2 times 0 is just 0, so you're left with x equals 4. So that's our x-intercept. And then for our y-intercept, we're going to make x 0 and solve for y. Divide both sides by 2, and y is equal to 2. So our y-intercept is 2, and our x-intercept is 4. But now I actually want to use that to be able to graph this equation. So here you can see if we plot a point at 4, 0 for our x-intercept and at 0, 2 for our y-intercept, we now have enough information to draw our line. So another example, we can kind of work backwards. So you have a graph and you're asked to find the x and y intercept. Well, looking at the graph, you're just trying to see, okay, where does it cross the x-axis and where does it cross the y-axis? So you can see here at positive 2 is where it crosses the x-axis, so our x-intercept is 2. And it crosses the y-axis at negative 1. So our y-intercept is negative 1. And just to bring it all together, our intercepts are where it crosses the x and y axis, and the point tells us the location of the ordered pair. So the intercept, the x-intercept of a graph is A, while the graph crosses the x-axis at the ordered pair x, 0. So if you were trying to tell someone a point, A isn't enough information. Calling it an x-intercept at A tells us that we use the point A, 0. And the same thing with the y-intercept. The y-intercept of a graph is B, which tells us that the graph crosses the y-axis at 0, B. And that's it for this section.